General Krathvar of the Dominion War Council stood before the holographic display, his forearms crossed in a gesture of supreme confidence. The simulation chamber below showed the final preparations for what would surely be the most devastating military assessment in galactic history. After months of careful planning, they had designed the perfect test to demonstrate human inferiority once and for all. "Explain the parameters one more time," requested Admiral Theska, her serpentine form coiled around the observation platform's railing. As head of the Galactic Military Standards Committee, she needed to be certain this demonstration would serve its purpose. Krathvar's mandibles clicked with satisfaction. The Human Endurance Protocol consists of 7 sequential phases, each designed to exploit the known weaknesses of human physiology and psychology. We begin with a 20-kilometer forced march, carrying 50 kilograms of equipment across varied terrain under hostile environmental conditions. "Standard assault conditioning," noted Colonel Vexim, his crystalline structure resonating approval. "What makes this uniquely challenging?" "The gravity is set to 1.8 times Earth normal," Krathvar continued, "with atmospheric pressure reduced to 60% of human baseline. Temperature fluctuates between 10 and 45 degrees Celsius every 15 minutes. The terrain includes climbing walls, water obstacles, and unstable surfaces designed to test human balance limitations." Admiral Theska's scales shimmered with interest. "And this is merely the beginning?" "Phase 2 introduces combat simulation under sensory deprivation," Krathvar explained, warming to his subject. "Humans must navigate a complex maze while being bombarded with disorienting sounds, strobe lighting, and mild electrical stimulation designed to overwhelm their primitive nervous systems." "Phases 3 through 5? Colonel Vexim inquired. "Extended problem-solving under extreme stress, including mathematical calculations, while exposed to simulated combat environments. Phase 4 tests their breaking point through sleep deprivation, combined with continuous physical demands. Phase 5 introduces psychological pressure through holographic scenarios designed to trigger their emotional instabilities." Admiral Theska's inner eyelids fluttered with anticipation. "And the final phases?" "Phase 6 combines everything: physical exhaustion, mental fatigue, environmental hostility, and social pressure. Phase 7 is pure endurance, a final 10-kilometer run while carrying wounded comrades through an obstacle course. No species in galactic military history has completed all 7 phases." "How long is the entire protocol designed to last?" asked Vexim. Krathvar's mandibles spread in what passed for a smile. 18 continuous hours. "We estimate most humans will collapse within the first 6 hours. The psychological breakdown should occur around hour 10, assuming any reach that point." The first group of human test subjects entered the preparation area below. Sergeant Maria Santos led the 12-person squad, checking equipment with the casual efficiency that had puzzled alien observers since first contact. The humans appeared relaxed, even jovial, as they prepared for what was intended to be a crushing ordeal. "Attention, human subjects," Krathvar announced through the communication system. "You are about to undergo the most challenging military assessment in galactic history. We expect you to perform to the best of your abilities." Sergeant Santos looked up at the observation deck and snapped a crisp salute. "Thank you, sir. My team appreciates the opportunity for some proper training. It's been too quiet lately." Krathvar exchanged puzzled glances with his colleagues. "Proper training?" he muttered. "Do they not understand what they're about to face?" The assessment began with the forced march. Alien observers watched in growing confusion as the humans not only maintained pace, but actually began singing in harmony some ancient military cadence that seemed to energize rather than exhaust them. By the halfway point, they were joking with each other and had established a rotating leadership structure to optimize efficiency. "This is unexpected," Admiral Theske observed, as the humans completed the march 40 minutes ahead of the projected timeline. They appear to be enjoying themselves? Ambassador Crix Tell, of the Chattering Consortium, shifted nervously in her hoverchair, her vocal sacs pulsing with anxiety as she studied the psychological profiles spread across the conference table. Around her, representatives from 17 different species maintained the constant background hum of interspecies communication that had characterized galactic diplomacy for millennia. "The data is disturbing," she announced, her voice carrying the harmonic overtones that indicated deep concern among her people. "In 3 standard months of observation, we have documented behavioral patterns that defy every model of sentient psychology in our databases." High Counselor Vorthak of the Hive Mind clicked his approval for her to continue, while simultaneously maintaining his species' perpetual data stream chatter with his collective consciousness. The gentle susurrus of mental communication filled the chamber like a technological lullaby. "Observe," Crixtel commanded, activating the holographic display. The image showed a human diplomatic outpost, a simple, sterile environment where 5 human representatives sat around a plain table. What made the scene deeply unsettling was the complete absence of sound. The humans simply sat, occasionally making brief eye contact, but otherwise remaining in what their observers had classified as aggressive silence. "How long do they maintain this behavior?" inquired Dr. Thisara, her bioluminescent patterns flickering with the constant stream of chemical communications that her species used for complex thought processes. "The current record is 8 hours and 43 minutes, Crixtel replied. "During this time, they consumed no entertainment media, engaged in no verbal communication, performed no status-confirming rituals, and showed no signs of psychological distress." A collective shudder ran through the assembled delegates. Among the 17 species represented, the average maximum silence tolerance was approximately 4 minutes before severe anxiety symptoms manifested. Most species required constant communication, whether verbal, chemical, telepathic, or electromagnetic, to maintain basic psychological stability. "Perhaps," suggested Commander Zeloth of the Crystal Hierarchy, his form resonating with barely controlled fear, "they are simply defective specimens? Brain-damaged individuals who lack normal communication drives." Crixtel's display shifted to show surveillance footage from multiple human facilities across the galaxy. Schools, offices, temples, transport vehicles, all showing the same disturbing pattern. Humans regularly subjected themselves to extended periods of complete silence, not only tolerating, but apparently preferring it. "These are their leadership candidates," she explained, highlighting a group of humans sitting motionless in what their research indicated was called a meditation retreat. They voluntarily isolate themselves for periods of up to 10 standard days, engaging in what they term silent reflection. Their psychological evaluations show improved cognitive function following these periods. The chamber erupted in horrified chittering, harmonic resonance, and bioluminescent panic displays. Several delegates required immediate medical attention as their communication organs began to spasm from sympathetic anxiety. "There's more," Crixtel continued grimly. "We've identified what appears to be their most elite military units. Humans they call snipers, who can remain motionless and silent for days, watching and waiting. They describe this as patience." High Counselor Vorthak's connection to the hive mind wavered momentarily, a sign of extreme distress. "Days? Without communication? Without social reinforcement? Without confirmation of identity and purpose?" "Confirmed," Crixtel said. "But the most disturbing discovery came when we attempted to replicate their interrogation methods." The hologram shifted to show a sterile room containing a human prisoner and an alien interrogator. The alien, a member of the Harmonic Collective, was clearly in distress, his vocal cords straining to fill the silence with questions, threats, and increasingly desperate attempts at communication. The human simply sat,